Hi, my name is Kayla Tasio, and I will be discussing physical education. This is a subject of flexibility in stretching assessments and activities. The flexibility is involved with explaining the benefits of stretching after warm-ups, after and before performing the assessments. It contributes to ideas and listens to the ideas of others in a cooperative way to help problem solve in these activities. These activities are to improve the level of performance on one component of health-related physical fitness and one identified motor skill by participating in fitness and skill development activities outside of school. The objective here is the ability for students to have the correct concept of flexibility and stretching and to improve their overall health while having fun. The materials include tennis shoes, and because we're only outside, scissors just to cut out the pieces that we'll be using, and I'll have paper for them to cut out. The intelligences are all based on their body and the way they move and the way they understand these concepts, so they will have to really think about what they are learning. Like I said, the only technology that we'll be using is the paper printout, so the students don't have to worry about any of that. Any students with a disability can still participate. This lesson is not based on time. It's not based on how fast you get it done. So anybody who has a disability or any sightseeing problems, they can still be involved because they are involved in a group and they can accomplish it together. My first part of the lesson is to divide the class into groups of 3 to 5 and having the first assessment sheet being puzzle pieces that they need to cut out and place on the center of an open space. I recommend probably a basketball court because they'll be moving around. There is a total of 6 pieces, and I have an example of the pieces listed here. This is what the puzzle pieces will look like. So we have dynamics, twisting, range of motion, stretching, bending, and then flexibility, of course. I will make sure students are doing the right thing by having the instructions given to them. I will also be going around with a checklist and a rating scale to make sure they are using their pieces correctly, and I know that they're using their locomotor skills and their movements to be able to move around the classroom, get their pieces, and get the materials that they need. With the checklist given, students will now answer questions based off the questions that they are given to them, and I know that they are understanding each concept. They will then think about the reviews and evaluate themselves. After the 6 puzzle pieces are learned by each student, students will move on and perform each activity followed by the instructor. Now, each group will form into a circle with their puzzle pieces in the center of them and run into a circle until the instructor calls out their names and has received the puzzle pieces. I'll give an example. Like I said, into an open area, like this, you can put the puzzle pieces on the ground. They will go into a circle by the instructions given, call out your name, and once I call out their name, they will pick up a puzzle piece. They will see I got flexibility, and I will perform what flexibility means to me. I will then get back up and then keep walking around the circle. Later in the lesson, they will be able to move around and twist and go opposite directions, knowing what their locomotor skills are and bending at the waist and knowing flexibility, bending, and all these concepts are involved in this little activity. I will be making sure that students are using their cognitive development and perform individually what each piece represents in a routine. So as I said before, once they pick it up, they'll perform what they think it is. Students will write a short summary about it that talks about flexibility and how flexibility is involved with the 6 pieces. It's so important to stretch and know these concepts for the overall health. Students will use a change of direction by circling around based on my instruction, and once all members have gone, then they will present their pieces together. So if there's 6 There's 6 pieces, and there's only 3 to 5 groups. That's fine. They'll just get the pieces that they have chosen, and then they will present that at the end. Overall, I will have a quiz given to the students so they can identify the definition for each assessment given to them, and how they worked on their communication skills to help each other understand each concept. Especially those who have a disability and need more understanding, students in their group can help them. At the end of the day, I will have them take home a learning assessment that will be required to rate themselves, evaluate themselves and their group members, and have the right definition to turn in the next day. This will give me the understanding that they have learned during the simple and short activity. Thank you.